good. How you doing? All right.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon. It's a very, why is my mixed community? Diane Gibson, did she show up today? Not yet. Not yet, she always running late, huh? Be quick, okay. First, let's get on the God and the blessing to be here today on this 11th annual Home for the Holiday open press conference. And before I begin, let me reflect 11 annual Home for Holidays. Started back in 2007. That's a long time ago, 2007. We done fed over 6,000 families. We done adopted over 600 families. And people like Linda Riley, thank you for adopting all those families. She always said, give me the larger family, and I'm going to adopt that. Thank you, Linda Riley, for doing that. Why are we here today, and why do I think, and I take very, very pride in what we're doing today. I remember back in 1968, 69, coming out of a project, Leo Place Project on Hatchet, and going to the Salvation Army to get your birthday gift, your birthday present, and said, how do you find a way that you're always receiving something and good people and good family always give back to you? When I grew up, your next door neighbor could whoop you, could tell you the joke, could take care of you, and hope don't tell your mom when you get home, you get another spanking. But that's where we grew up back in the day. And what I did, when I first came to the city of Dallas, I said, yeah, we go to a lot of Christmas parties. But I said, how do I give back? Because I've been blessed because so many people have given me something. And I said, first, let's have a press conference. And playing football, he's a football agent. And the first thing I said, well, I know football players. And that's a gift I had. And I said, what do they do? DeMarcus Brown, been here, was my first one that came back. And Greg Ellis, thank you for coming today. But I also had to go back and look back where I came from. I look at SMU. 41 years ago, I went to SMU. That's a long time. And I look around and see these young athletes who are giving back to the city and giving back to the school and giving back, to new life, and say, what can we do better to go forward? But to do that, you have to be a person who know how to give, to know how to receive. It's easy to give something, but when you receive something, do you take advantage of that when you receive something? Because when you receive something, you always say, you know what? They always gave us something. Right, Chief Martin? You always give it. And when you learn how to give, you learn how to receive. Amen. And that's something you learn over and over and over again through your life, how to receive. And I ain't gonna take long, but here is Miss Community, Diane Gibson. So give her a big round of applause for coming back here. And I'm gonna step back, because if I don't step back, she's gonna shoot me. But you gotta understand that. Remember what I told you? You always gotta know who to deal with, networking. So this is Miss Community. And Miss Community, you gotta come up and introduce me formally. Then I can start back over, but I'm gonna be short on my speed. So therefore, we all got with the Miss Community to come in to get everything started. Miss Diane Gibson.
First of all, let me say say good afternoon. And then a special thanks, it's so funny, we was just talking in the elevator that this is our best time and the best press conference of the year because it kicks off the season and this is the season to be jolly. I hope y'all all got me Christmas gifts. I love gift cards. Okay, but anyway, for Councilman Atkins, this has just been one of his dreams. And when I tell you, Ms. Stewart, you know he works our nerve here, he really does. But he has a good heart. He has a real good heart. And guess what? He actually gives gifts to all of the people. And so we're glad. Who's this group here? SMU? I gotta take a picture with y'all. I'm sorry. Y'all have had a good year. So congratulations. Which one of y'all grandmama work for Powell show up? You, Brenda's grandson. Thank you. I'm so sorry, y'all. But you know what? It's just a time of joy and happiness and fun. Why? Because guess what? We're still here. Everything is still working for the most part. Some of us need a little help more than others. But guess what? We're still here to be a blessing to others. We're still here to get gifts. We're still here to celebrate this. And some of us are just grateful because we're still employed. So guess what? I don't know anything we have to complain about. Why? Because we're still here. So there's still work for us to do. And I'm just so glad that Councilman Atkins keep us busy. Thanks all the city council for their support. I just love you guys. And y'all know we have the tallest council over here. So, is that Councilmember David Blewett? Really? That's it? That's all I'm for? Yeah. No. He has a heart for the people too. So no, he is really a good person. But y'all know my love, my heart. Councilmember Mayor Pro Tem Adam Magoo is here. You know he really my friend if he holding my purse. Me don't really do. Thank you. For those of you that are here, community court staff, I didn't forget y'all, that's the best staff within the city of Dallas. So thank you guys for your help and support, for helping and supporting Councilman Atkins too. Now Councilman Atkins, is there anything, Maria, I'm praying for y'all. They don't pay y'all enough. Y'all need a bonus check, our check, and everybody else's check. Because this man is energized and he's never stopped working. No, he don't have an SMU jacket. Chief, I'm sorry, I forgot y'all. Thank y'all, Chief. Thank y'all. Don't worry about it. He got on the SMU. You ain't paying nobody. But anyway, y'all thank y'all for supporting this man because he is really a man that's after God's own heart and supporting this community.
You mentioned someone 6'5" that came down to City Hall to protect me. It had to be an SMU Mustang, Dave Blewett. Dave, you want to come and say a few words? You know, this is a guy, you know, he didn't bring his ring, but, you know, he's going to talk about his ring, you know. So we never got to Southwest Conference Champion when I was playing, but Dave, that's all right.
Well, thank you, Councilman Atkins. I do say it's an honor to represent the city, to represent District 14, and to be a former Mustang. I do point out that I'm younger than him. He played in the 70s. I played in the 80s, but we share one thing in common. We are both Mustangs. I guess two things, and we're also both city leaders. And so it is interesting, though, to be a former Mustang and look at these young men here, because even though it's been a while, it seems like it was yesterday when I was wearing a jersey very similar, and we used to go out in the community, especially during this time of year. It's a great time of year. It's a great time to give back. And it's also a time to reflect. So like I said, I look at you guys, and I think about Teddy Roosevelt, who talked about the man in the arena, and how you become a leader. And I remember back in the 80s, when I did what you guys are doing, and I learned skills I didn't even know. I did things I didn't know how they would benefit me. And here we are, 30-odd years later, and I'm standing here continuing that legacy of leadership that I learned by being a football player at SMU. You guys have a great opportunity to give back. Hopefully you understand that. I didn't understand what I was getting out of it, but I tell you, as an older person now, it's a great opportunity to give back, to enjoy your time playing, but recognize you're on a path to bigger things. So thank you. Thank you all for being here. Thank you for Councilman Atkins. It's a great time of year. It's a great program. I appreciate that we're all trying to do our part to participate, make the city a better place. Thank you all.
And with that, you know, we always have Dallas Cowboys. So he is a former Dallas Cowboy, Brad Ellis, you know. Everyone knows Brad Ellis. And the reason why I look at Greg, you know, he is a person, you know, we were talking earlier about, you know, learning films, you know, going back and watching the film over and over and over again. Greg got to the point, he started looking at film, that he wanted to be in the film. So he wanted to be a movie star. So he started writing plays. So Greg is a guy who writes plays and also do movies. He's trying to find a movie state in southern part of Dallas. Greg Ellis, former Dallas Cowboy.
I'm going to be real brief. I want to thank you, Councilman Atkins, for doing this, for starting the program. You saw a need, you chose to fill a need, so thank you for running to be a part of the solution as opposed to running away from it. A lot of people run away from it. We talk about it, but we sometimes slow to put action to it. So I always like to acknowledge and thank those people who are actually running into the fire and trying to help put the fire out. So that's something that you can mirror your life after of, you know, when things, you see a problem, let's try to fix and solve the problem, not run from the problem. So thank you, Councilman Atkins, for doing that. He told me that, I asked him how long do I have to speak. He said, you got your sweat towel, so you can go as long as you want to. No, I'm only going to be about 3 minutes, but I'm going to choose to tell you a story that I tell a lot. It only takes about 2 minutes, and then we'll laugh a little bit, then I'll sit down. It's a story. This young kid, this particular beach, used to wash up starfish every morning. Hundreds of starfish would wash up on this beach. And so the kid would wake up every morning and go throw the starfish back into the ocean. And so this one man would watch the kid doing this, and the man would just watch him for a while, and then finally one day, the grown man yelled at the kid and say, son, you're never going to make a big enough difference by throwing those starfish back in the ocean, because there are hundreds sitting on the beach. You're not going to make a difference. Well, the kid simply bends down, picks up one starfish, throws it back into the ocean. And he said, you know what, you're probably right, but to that one, I just made a difference. Now, we translate that to helping people. Sometimes we can feel a problem is so big that my little dollar won't help, but those dollars add up. You know, those dollars add up and produce what you see sitting over here, and produce people like Greg Ellis. So I like to encourage people. We may not be able to do as much as Councilman Atkins can do. We may not have his pockets to do what he can do, but do your part. Don't feel like the problem is too big, that you're $1. You're holding a door for somebody. You're taking a coat to a kid who you know needs a coat. You delivering a Barbie doll to somebody. Don't feel like that's not making a difference. Your can of peas may be something that gets somebody through to their next meal. So I close with this. Understand, you picking up that one starfish out of those hundreds is making a difference. And I'd like to encourage you to continue. Make sure we're picking up those one starfish, because it is making a difference. Thank you.
I had to talk to the coach, make sure that we follow the rules. You know, I always listen to the coach, right? Right, player? Listen to the coach, okay. He said, number one, it's great. Yes, you have a great team this year. We know that when you're doing great things are happening. This is the second time they're down to City Hall, and as you know, they're doing great. And when SMU do great, Dallas doing great. Dallas do great, SMU doing great. But I still got to thank my great DPD, you know, Chief Martina, thank you for doing a great job. You know, you and all your people do a great job. Let's make say that. And my staff, real saddles all over. Thank you for doing a great job. And Angela in the back doing a great job. And Shanice Hughes, is she still here? I guess she's not this. Oh, hey, Shanice, how you doing? Oh, and one person I want to thank, Monica. Is Monica here? Is month here. This is a person. One for red carpet, Shane, one for red carpet. Come on. One for red carpet. Yeah, that's right. This is a person do all the decoration for me.
With the park department.
And with the park department. Remember park department. When you go to December 7th, the home for holiday, this ain't nothing. It's great. We'll turn the gym into something classy, and she got something very surprising this year. I don't know what it is, but I know it'll be great, right?
Yes.
You in the park department. Thank you for all your support.
Thank you.
With that, the court said, I do have permission you to come up here and say your name, where you're from, and what position. You know how to do me that favor? Name, where you're from. You can't say what college, right? If you want college, yes, you're right. Okay, let's go. Start with the first one. What position you play?
So my name is Lamonte Scott. I'm from Dallas, Texas, and I play defensive end.
All right.
Hi, everyone. My name is James Brochet II. I'm from Dallas, Texas. I play wide receiver, and I went to DeSoto High School.
How y'all doing? I'm Rodney Coons. I'm from Houston, Texas. I play for safety, but I'm happy to be in Dallas. How y'all doing? I'm Xavier Jones. I play running back.
We got him out of the way. Now we got Scott. Come here, Scott. I don't know what we can say, but you can say something, right, Scott?
Sure.
How y'all doing? My name is Scott Madden, Director of Recruiting at SMU. First of all, these four gentlemen to the left of me are not only incredible football players, but they're incredible men. And you're going to be proud that they're representing our city. I had a conversation with my uncle-in-law this past summer. He's 82 years old, and he's an African-American gentleman. And he said, I've never seen our country more divided than I do right now. And that broke my heart, because after everything he's seen in his life, to say that now, it made me incredibly sad. And I took that in my heart, and luckily I worked for a head coach in Sonny Dykes who has a servant's heart. And what we're trying to do at SMU football is be more than just a football team. We're trying to be a part of the city that draws everyone together. We want to be a focal point that brings the corners of the city that are separated to one central place where we can all have a commonality and a common thing to root for. So if you haven't been out to a game, I invite you to do so. You don't have to be from SMU. You don't have to be even from Dallas. You certainly don't have to be from Highland Park. Anywhere in this city, we want you in our house on Saturday afternoons, because we truly believe, I love this city, been born and raised here, I know every single corner of it. This is what I believe, and we represent everybody in this city, and we do it proudly. And so if you haven't been out to see us, we encourage you to do so, and it's such an honor for them to include us in this effort. We're incredibly honored to be down here and be asked to do so. So appreciate y'all, thanks for having us, and go Mustangs.
Since David's taller than I am, so he wants to say something, but I think you're going to have respect for height.
Well, we've touched on it, but I did not, Coach, you mentioned it.
Yes, sir.
My district, we talk a lot about SMU in Dallas, and a lot of people don't understand that a significant portion of SMU is in the city of Dallas, and it's in my district, District 14. So, to be here, representing the district, representing SMU, it's a special thing. And so I look at you guys and I keep smiling. They're doing great this year. It's great for the city, like Mr. Atkins talked about. I'm actually going to go visit. I love Annapolis and DC. They're playing this week. So I'll be out there rooting you guys on. It's a tough stadium, but I'm very encouraged about things. But SMU is Dallas. My parents, when they cleaned out all my old letters of recruiting, they found a lot of SMU letters. And every one of them said Big D, Dallas, SMU in Dallas. And so people need to remember that. That is really what we are. So good luck, guys.
Two people came in. Thank Bo Slaughter, my guy, representing the park board. Mr. Slaughter, thank you for coming in. We got to make sure everything's legal. We had our city attorney that showed up, Chris Queso. My other colleague, far north, Carol Millicent. Interim Director of Park Department, John Jenkins. Gail Terrell, former Vice Chair of the Park Department, thank you for coming. Randy, thanks for coming, Randy. Counting all the people. Lincoln County, enjoy the session, thank you. And my favorite love of Miss Dodge. Great, thank you for coming. And Linda Riley, thank you for coming, Linda, again. And if I keep on calling, I'm gonna miss somebody, but I'm stopping.
That's all right, you missed me.
Who I miss? Oh, C.W. You know, he's been a great little but you also think that I mentioned everybody's out for the park department, right? Recreating summer. I have 5 rec centers in my district, more than anyone. I got more parkland. I got 58 square miles. So we believe in parks to come together. We also believe we got a safety park in the city now because of Chief Martinez. So we got Southwest, South Central, Southeast. So we got all the police south in District 8. So we're doing a great deal. What else to do now? Number one, we got a band now. We're gonna play some music. I ain't heard no music since I've been here. So before we do that, we're gonna do a group photo. We're gonna come up front, do a little picture and take pictures up, and that way everything will be in. And also thank all the sponsors. Everybody who Dr. Federation, everybody who's Dr. Federation, please stand up. I'll do it, Dr. Federation, please stand up. Okay. So we know you. Oh, thank you, all the sponsors who are Dr. Federation. Thank you very much. Okay, man, you will.
Christmas time will be drawn